Have you ever heard the saying, before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig two graves? Well, today's story is about a woman named Clara, who learned this lesson in the most devastating way possible. Her tale is a powerful reminder that sometimes the worst punishment isn't what others do to us, but what we do to ourselves. Clara and Mark had what looked like a perfect marriage. They were high school sweethearts, built a beautiful home, and had two amazing kids. From the outside, they were the couple everyone envied. But beneath the surface, cracks were starting to form. After 15 years, the spark had dimmed. The daily grind of work, bills, and parenting had replaced the passion they once shared. Clara felt neglected, unseen. Mark was always busy, stressed from his demanding job, and their conversations became more about logistics than love. Feeling lonely and craving validation, Clara started spending more time on social media. That's where she reconnected with an old college friend, Julian. He was charming, attentive, and showered her with the compliments she was missing at home. What started as innocent messages quickly spiraled into a full-blown affair. For months, Clara lived a double life, sneaking around, telling lies. She felt a rush of excitement, a feeling of being desired again. But with that rush came a constant, gnawing guilt. She knew what she was doing was wrong, that it could shatter her family, but she couldn't seem to stop. The inevitable day came. Mark, growing suspicious of her secretive behavior, discovered texts between Clara and Julian. His world came crashing down. The confrontation was explosive. Tears, accusations, and heartbreak filled their home. Mark was utterly devastated. He couldn't understand how the woman he loved, the mother of his children, could betray him so deeply. He packed a bag and left to stay with his brother, needing space to process the wreckage of their marriage. In that moment, faced with the consequences of her actions, Clara's guilt twisted into something else: rage. Instead of taking responsibility, she blamed Mark. She told herself he had driven her to it, that his neglect was the real problem. In her mind, she wasn't the villain. She was the victim. And she decided she wanted revenge. She wasn't going to let him just walk away and paint her as the bad guy. She was going to make him pay. Her plan was as cold as it was calculated. She would hit him where it hurt the most: his reputation and his finances. Clara systematically drained their joint savings accounts, transferring the money to a secret account of her own. Then she went on a smear campaign. She called their mutual friends, spinning a tale of an emotionally abusive husband who had driven her into another man's arms. She posted vague, passive-aggressive statuses on social media, hinting at a hidden darkness in their perfect marriage. She was building a narrative, painting Mark as the monster and herself as the long-suffering wife. The initial results were exactly what she'd hoped for. Friends called her, offering sympathy. Some even started looking at Mark with suspicion. Julian, her lover, was fully on her side, validating her feelings and encouraging her quest for justice. Clara felt powerful, in control. She thought she was winning. But the high was temporary. The lies started to weigh on her. Keeping her story straight was exhausting. Every phone call was a performance, every social media post a carefully crafted illusion. Mark, meanwhile, was doing the opposite. He was quiet. He didn't engage in the drama. He confided in his brother and a therapist, focusing on his own healing and, most importantly, on his children. He made sure to see them regularly, shielding them from the conflict as much as possible. His silence was deafening to Clara. It wasn't the reaction she wanted. She wanted him to fight back, to get angry, to prove her right. But he didn't. He simply moved on. The first real crack in Clara's vengeful facade appeared when she met an old friend, Sarah, for coffee. Sarah listened patiently to Clara's tirade against Mark, but instead of offering blind support, she looked at Clara with sad eyes and said, "I know you're hurting, Clara, but are you sure this is the right way? Think about your kids. Think about the person you used to be." The words hit Clara like a ton of bricks. It was the first time someone had challenged her narrative, and it planted a seed of doubt. Then, the financial walls started to close in. The money she'd taken was a finite resource. She had quit her part-time job years ago to raise the children, and now, with no income, she was burning through her stolen funds at an alarming rate. The lavish lifestyle she thought she was securing for herself was proving unsustainable. The stress of managing her finances, her lies, and her children's emotional turmoil was becoming unbearable. The final blow came from Julian. As the reality of Clara's situation set in the impending divorce, the financial strain, The emotional baggage, the charming, attentive man began to pull away. The excitement of the forbidden affair was gone, replaced by the messy reality of a broken family. He wasn't interested in being a stepfather or a financial provider. He wanted fun and escape, not responsibility. One evening, he told her it was over. He couldn't handle the drama. Clara was completely alone. The affair that was supposed to save her had abandoned her. The revenge that was supposed to empower her had isolated her. She had pushed away her husband, alienated her friends, and now, the man she'd risked everything for was gone. She looked in the mirror and barely recognized the person staring back. She was a hollow shell, filled with nothing but bitterness and regret. She had spent so much energy trying to punish Mark, she hadn't realized she was building her own prison. Mark, on the other hand, had focused on healing. He had secured a new, smaller apartment, he was thriving at work, and most importantly, he had a healthy, loving relationship with his children. He wasn't happy about the divorce, but he was at peace. He had moved forward. Clara, in her quest for revenge, had become her own punishment. She had lost her family, her financial security, her friends, and her self-respect. The life she had so carefully tried to destroy for Mark was the very life she now desperately missed. She was left with nothing but the consequences of her own choices. It's a somber story, but one that teaches us a vital lesson. Anger and revenge are toxic. They consume you from the inside out. True strength isn't about hurting those who hurt us. It's about finding the grace to heal, to take responsibility, and to move forward. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you next time.